If you're looking forward to the Modern Warfare 3 Zombies experience, just like I am, in today's video I'm going to go over some of the things that personally I am the most excited for to see inside of the mode, and they're ones that you might yourself actually not think about straight away, that they are features that you can see straight off the bat. The first one I want to talk about is something that Detonated did say on Twitter, and I don't entirely know how true this is, but if it is, this is going to be super fun and I'm really excited to test it out. And that is something that will also change the Zombies experience, at least inside Modern Warfare Zombies, and that is third person might actually be inside of the mode, and you will be able to change between this whenever you want to. This, in my opinion, is super cool just because I don't think we've ever had Zombies experience in Call of Duty in third person, and the fact that I'll be able to switch from both of them, it will kind of give you a different perspective on playing Zombies. Now, since this is a Modern Warfare 2 port, it kind of makes sense for third person to be in it. Obviously, this game is called Modern Warfare 3 and it does slightly play different, but they took Modern Warfare 2 and they expanded upon it, which, yeah, you could say is done in previous Call of Duties, but not really. Call of Duty teams usually go out there and like kind of build a game from scratch. Obviously, we're using some assets, but this is literally just Modern Warfare 2, so it would completely make sense why third person would be available in this. And if that does end up coming true, I'm just super excited. Maybe camo grinding will be easier, who knows. It's definitely a feature that I'm really looking forward to and really exciting to see. The next one is actually involving players. I'm really looking forward to surprisingly play with players. I know that sounds like a very weird one, but since this is supposed to be a very difficult mode, actually experiencing DMZ and all of those bosses, other players really did come in handy, and having someone to revive you whenever you go down inside DMZ is actually super nice and helpful. And the fact that you can have players that play with you and revive you, my whole entire perspective on that kind of a gameplay style has changed after the Halloween event inside of DMZ, and it will definitely play in a very similar way on Modern Warfare Zombies. Now, I'm still a solo player, so there's still this like craving of, I will want to go exploring on my own. Well, there's like a feature inside of Modern Warfare Zombies that obviously if you play with randoms, it's not 100% that they will be carrying this, but Healing Aura is going to be returning inside of the mode, and from what we know, you'll be able to revive absolutely anyone on the map, doesn't matter how far you are going to be, because the map is open world. So you'll be able to explore no matter where you want to go, and if a player on your team that isn't in your party or something happens to have Healing Aura on them, they'll be able to revive you across the map, and that's definitely something I'm really looking forward to. Even though you'll be able to hop in solo, I might actually opt out to play with 2 other randoms. Speaking of randoms and players, you'll actually be able to revive absolutely anyone, and they don't have to specifically be on your squad. Previously to that, I thought it involved the whole assimilation feature that's going to be in the game, where you're going to be able to find 3 other players and team up with them and create like a 6-man squad, which is really exciting to see. But it turns out that my understanding of that feature, which was mentioned inside of an achievement or trophy, whatever you want to call it, actually means that you'll just be able to simply revive anyone. Doesn't matter who they are, if they're on your team, if you find somebody that's down, hey, if you feel like a nice person, you can run up and revive them. Now, I know that this kind of does cause like a bit of a concern, because one thing that you will definitely be able to do, even though there's no PvP, is gather up a huge horde of zombies and run into a team, maybe or one person, and sabotage them, which I feel like will happen more than I would probably want it to happen, just because players will be players, and since, you know, some people just thrive off of killing people or trolling them, we will probably see this feature a lot. But I feel like a lot of people will actually help you out more than you might expect. The next thing is continuing this whole idea of playing with other players, is proximity chat. I think this will really help out with the Zombies experience. You can probably stumble upon some pretty funny people and stuff like that, since I have already on DMZ or even Warzone. The amount of players that I've run into that have quite the characters is quite interesting. Now, one annoying thing is I will definitely run into some players that are blasting music, because that is the most common thing I'm noticing. And specifically, since I'm like a PlayStation player, I do run into more PlayStation 5 players. A lot of people forget that you have like a muting feature on your PS5, and that does end up being annoying. But I will definitely try my best to communicate with other players, and will allow for very interesting experiences of teaming up with players, and then when you team up with them, being able to talk to them, and the whole idea of what proximity chat is. From a distance, you might be even able to scare some people, since it is a Zombies experience. Who knows the possibilities that you might have. Again, continuing the whole idea of playing with others, but not really, you will have an end of game boss fight, which is called Gorm Gant, as I hope it is, because we do know that there was a calling card that I myself saw, but unfortunately cannot find it anywhere, and I don't know if I'm allowed to show it on your screen. I do believe I have a screenshot of it, it, so I might put it briskly on your screen. But there's a calling card out there that requires you to get one Gormgant kill, and it's only one, and it's like in a boss fight section. So since it's a specific zombies boss fight section, I'm guessing you'll be able to call this bad boy Gormgant, and I'm really excited for it because it looks pretty cool. It's like almost like a reference from Zetsubo no Shima. It's a new boss fight, and I'm really excited to see how this bad boy is, because Trek did say it's supposed to be very difficult to take it down. You know, I love a challenge. I personally took down Legion way more times than I'm, proud to say, even though Legion isn't a difficult boss fight. But I do love boss fights, and specifically in zombies, and that is one that I'm really excited to play. And the cool thing about this is you'll be able to do it with other players, so more than one person will be able to go up against Gormgant. And again, it's similar to the whole like reviving feature. They don't have to be on your team. All 24 players in your lobby will be able to take it down together at the end of the match, after the 1 hour, 2 hour, whatever amount of time the lobby will be taking to finish. The next thing is the whole idea of it being open world. A lot of people for some odd reason consider this not an open world experience, which really confuses me, because if you don't know, open world is a huge map that's open to you to explore. I don't know why people say it's not open world, but it is. It's finally an Outbreak in a way experience, but it's completely open world. You're no longer limited to just being in a certain area and then teleporting to more locations. I know that you would call Outbreak open world, but it's way too tiny to be considering it that. This time around, we're getting a huge Warzone essentially map that could potentially see future editions of Rebirth Island returning, Fortune's Keep returning, and something I completely keep forgetting to mention, there's leaks and rumors that Verdansk is going to be returning. Imagine playing zombies on Verdansk. I'm not a fan of the Verdansk map, but if I'll just be able to play zombies in that and exploring it, I think my knowledge of playing that Warzone map quite a lot will be quite interesting and fun. Another thing that I'm really excited for is exfilling. Exfilling is supposed to be really difficult, similar to the way that it is on DMZ, because DMZ can be difficult just because you have to be terrified of enemy players coming up and killing you. Well, since there's no PvP, this time around you're gonna have to be terrified of zombies. Supposedly exfilling is going to be incredibly challenging because you're overloaded with the amount of zombies that spawn in, and from the gameplays that we've seen, there's gonna be huge hordes, so probably carrying monkey bombs around for exfilling will be hugely beneficial. And an interesting thing is, it's supposed to no longer be like where you get on a chopper and you get to escape after a few seconds. No, the timer keeps ticking away until like the 30 seconds is gone, and the zombies can even get on top of the chopper. This just makes the whole idea of exfilling way more rewarding, because you'll finally get away from this huge horde of zombies and everything that's happening on Urzikstan. It's kind of really exciting for me. Some other features that I feel like a lot of people already know about that I'm really looking forward to is the return of PhD Flopper. The idea of having 9 perks that will allow you to keep those 9 perks unless you completely bleed out, so if you get revived you get them straight away. Also the idea of what Tombstone is, where it'll behave as like a thing that you'll be able to get all of your weapons and perks back once you completely bleed out and go back into a new game, so you'll be able to get your insured weapon slots back, which is super exciting. The idea of how Pack-a-Punch is going to be working, where you're gonna have to go into the really difficult zones to Pack-a-Punch your weapons, which is kind of oddly exciting for me, even though it sounds incredibly difficult. I'm just really looking forward to a bit of the challenge of this zombies experience. And lastly, mastery camos. I'm a huge mastery camo grinder, and the fact that there might be Modern Warfare 2 mastery camos and Modern Warfare 3 mastery camos separately for their own weapons, that is super exciting. And don't even get me started on the amount of weapons that are supposed to be in this. Over 100? Hell yeah. I am so damn excited for so many things inside of this mode. But also I need to quickly point out before we end, I'm not saying this is a perfect mode. Just because I'm excited for something doesn't mean it's perfect. And you can not like it, you can like it, it's completely up to you. I'm not gonna try to convince you, I'm just talking about the mode because I enjoy it. You guys seem to really like these videos. Why? Because they get more views than my channel usually does, and they get way more likes than any of my videos do usually. So I'm just kind of working off of what you guys like, and since you like watching it, and since I like editing it, recording it, then why not continue these? So if you want to see more of these kind of videos, then definitely be sure to subscribe, be sure to drop a like in the video, and I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.